Oh, no, I can't just...
It's funny you asked this because I was just reading today about how Milton Keynes...
Oh!
Well, you're a banker. Surely you read the Financial Times.
Trying to understand it.
I thought this was fake.
Anyway, I've only got as far as Milton Keynes.
Maynard Keynes.
I'm sure there's a Milton Keynes.
And it's real. Like, no!
Because I was just reading today about how Milton Keynes...
Please, stop. Calgon, take me away. Anybody, take me away. This is so stupid. It's so ridiculously stupid. I just can't even believe it. Well, scientists have a new unanswerable mystery. Why politicians seem so prone to trying to fake it on subjects about which they know virtually nothing. And their newest test subject is New York Democrat Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, while pontificating in a socialist monologue, decided she'd show folks just how much she knows about economics by citing great economist
Milton Keynes.
There's just one problem. Milton Keynes never existed.
Because I was just reading today about how Milton Keynes, a famous economist back in the day.
Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Yes, Milton Keynes. You know Milton Keynes. That's AOC's embarrassing unicorn hybrid of hardcore socialist, inflationist, and full employment British economic theorist John Maynard Keynes, whose ideas heavily influenced FDR and many other foolish presidents after him to the detriment of the American economy, and are still being peddled in maudlin economics courses that must be taught at BU, where AOC got her degree, and the other economist from the Chicago School, the economist well known to conservatives, the monetarist Milton Friedman. But in case people have missed this video, by watching it, or suffering through it, you might say, one can tell that AOC actually was talking about John Maynard Keynes, because the gist of her Marxist money-pumping claptrap is that Keynes once predicted the obvious, that productivity would rise.
I was just reading today about how Milton Keynes, a famous economist back in the day, predicted that by 2030, US GDP would grow 6 to 8 times what it is, which would allow for everyday people to work 15 hours a week.
But of course,
the problem is that those advancements have not been enjoyed by the very people who are actually producing the goods in our society.
Which, as I've reported, reiterates the erroneous assumption AOC pumps that the business owner somehow doesn't work or invest workplaces with multitudinous contributions that are essential to the production of the final product or service being sold. In fact, employees would have fewer opportunities to utilize their skills or even acquire skills if it weren't for the tools, the heat, the research, the shipping, and even the buildings that entrepreneurs offer thanks to risking their leverageable capital. But specifically, AOC clearly displays either absolute ignorance or deceit when it comes to the most fundamental principle of economics: productivity. All of human progress, the story of human endeavor, is based on the basic human desire to be more productive, to get more for less toil, not less for more toil. From the ancient use of the inclined plane to let one man move heavy objects rather than 2 men doing the job, thus freeing up human potential to do more in other areas, market division of labor, trade, and competition drive makers to constantly be more productive, to make things for less and make them better, because that's what people like. That's why DVD players that once cost over $1,000 when they were first introduced were soon being supplied to buyers at just $240. And why, as Reason editor Kathy Mangu-Ward and John Stossel have reported, American life is better, health is better, work is safer, and for the vast majority of people around the world, they're living better lives. As W. Michael Cox and Richard Allen, co-authors of the book Myths of Rich and Poor, We're Better Off Than We Think, wrote in 2001 for the Foundation for Economic Education, In the early 1970s, it took a month of work to afford a color television. Now it's just 3 days. In a quarter century, the work time price of a cellular telephone plunged 97%. A handheld calculator now costs 45 minutes on the job, down from 31 hours in 1972. Sadly, ironically, the only thing that can stand in the way of this better life through productivity is government. The very thing that AOC wants to increase. In fact, euphemistically titled things like regulations, taxes, and other types of government intervention put a blanket on productivity. And one of the biggest enemies of productivity is inflation of the money supply, which was central to John Maynard Keynes' economic theory of what he called full employment. Well, you don't get full employment when the government or the government-sanctioned bank pumps money into an economy. What you get are price increases. What you get are economic downturns and bubbles, all sorts of problems where money is malinvested. In fact, John Maynard Keynes' ideas almost destroyed the U.S. economy. And it is this expansion of the money supply that AOC pushes as the core of her modern monetary theory. So is it any surprise that she should get it wrong when talking about the two most popular economic theorists of the 20th century? Not at all. And of course, we have to expect that she's going to get it wrong plenty more often in the future as she looks to have the state control more of people's lives. Hey, thanks so much for sharing this time with me, everybody, and thinking about some of these ideas from people and trying to sift out the good ideas from the bad ideas. What can you say? It's tough. A lot of people think they're doing the right thing for others, but you don't do the right thing for others by dictating to them how they will live through the power of the state. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Don't forget to find our great outfits and merchandise at MRC-Store and join me at YouTube. I'll be in the comments section and at mrctv.org. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.